Because Tigray Defense Force suffered a setback in Amhara region. This is the first major setback suffered by Tigray Defense Force in Amhara region. TDF started its offensive on Amhara region almost a month ago. It has been advancing smoothly, I would say. It moved into Wag Hemra, North Wollo. It captured Raya first, Koram, Elamata, then it moved east. It took control of some areas in Wag Hemra. Then it moved in southern direction, Kobo, Vuldia. Then it moved in western direction, Lalibela was taken, Gashina was taken, and then TDF decided to advance towards Bahidar Gondar Road. Vrata Junction was the target. In order to reach this target, TDF wanted to take control of Debre Tabor city. TDF was in the outskirts of Debre Tabor city 72 hours ago, but reportedly TDF's offensive on Debre Tabor city has been repelled by Amhara regional forces. What happened on this front? Why did TDF suffer losses on this front? And what's happening there now? Are TDF soldiers trapped there? Firstly, viewers, Tigray Defense Force advanced from Gashina. After taking control of Lalibela, they took control of Gashina. You can see Gashina on this map. From Gashina, they moved in western direction. They captured Nifas Micha. Then they took control of Mount Guna as well. From Mount Guna, from Nifas Micha, they advanced towards Debre Tabor. They were seen in Kamid Dinge, just around 20 kilometers away from Debre Tabor. And then they entered the outskirts of Debre Tabor city. But they had to face very strong resistance from Amhara forces. Amhara forces managed to cut off TDF supply lines by taking control of Gashina. So TDF lost its back when Ethiopian National Defense Forces, Amhara regional forces took control of Gashina. And TDF soldiers were trapped between Gashina and Debre Tabor. On Mount Guna, reportedly, Ethiopian Air Force conducted airstrikes. TDF suffered losses there as well. In the outskirts of Debre Tabor, here again TDF suffered losses. TDF had to withdraw from Debre Tabor city towards Nifas Micha. But to the east of Nifas Micha, there is Gashina. Gashina is under ENDF control. Now, Tigray Defense Force has two options. Either to take control of Debre Tabor or to remove Ethiopian National Defense Force from Gashina and retreat. But ENDF are in control of Gashina. Tigray Defense Force is trapped between Gashina and Debre Tabor. We saw a similar strategy adopted by Amhara forces a couple of weeks ago when TDF had reached close to Debark in North Gondar. There we saw that Amhara forces they sneaked into mountainous areas and they managed to reach behind TDF's positions near Zarima, near Edi Erke. And suddenly TDF withdrew from Debark towards Zarima because TDF supply lines were in danger. Here, same thing happened because the Tigray Defense Force overstretched. It moved deep into Amhara region towards Debre Tabor, and TDF's supply lines on the back were cut off by Amhara forces in Gashina. Yes, TDF has suffered losses. The TDF had to withdraw from Debre Tabor. Then viewers, in a previous video 2 hours ago, I informed you about relocation of Amhara forces and Ethiopian National Defense Forces from Western Tigray. Western Tigray is literally under the control of Eritrean forces. ENDF and Amhara forces arrived from Western Tigray on Debre Tabor front as well. So three main factors have led to TDF's retreat from Debre Tabor. Massive deployments of Amhara forces, Ethiopian National Defense Forces, airstrikes, and the strategy adopted by ENDF and Amhara forces to cut off TDF supply lines in Gashina. What next? Well, from Buldia side or from Debre Tabor side, TDF will have to launch offensive on Gashina. TDF must remove ENDF Amhara forces from Gashina, otherwise these TDF units trapped between Gashina and Debre Tabor are in danger. Resistance on this front was very much expected, viewers. Debre Tabor, Gondar, Bahidar, these areas are the heart of Amhara region. They were preparing for this sort of defensive strategy. Now the main concern for Tigray Defense Force is how to rescue TDF units trapped between Debre Tabor and Gashina. Either these TDF units will have to storm Debre Tabor and take control of the city somehow, or they'll have to withdraw. If they start withdrawing, they are faced with ENDF on their back in Gashina. Coming hours, coming days, very crucial for TDF. A few days ago, Ethiopian PM had said that enemy was falling into trap. We have been discussing in previous videos that TDF is overstretching, its supply lines could be overstretched. Now it seems that it will have to revisit its strategy regarding its offensive in Amhara region. Its supply lines are being targeted by Amhara forces. We saw that on Debark front. We're seeing that here on Gashina as well. Let's see how TDF manages to come out of this crisis. Thank you for watching.